Hello, Nerium family. My name is Beth. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. Before I get started, I want to thank everyone who has stopped me in the hallway or in the bathrooms and patted my belly or said, congratulations, I'm so happy for you, or recognized me from dancing on stage yesterday across the NLC recognition. I really didn't think I would stand out that much, but I guess the belly kind of gives it away. Backstage, our beautiful hostess said, Mary Beth, God is going to speak through you, and I almost started to tear up, and then she said, and your water is not going to break. So the likelihood of me crying right now is very high normally under any given circumstances, so again, just bear with me here since I am carrying here 8 months with a little girl with me, so thank you for the love. So about 20 years ago, I was walking through the student commons at my college, and there was a gentleman standing behind the table, and he had a free t-shirt sign and said, if you sign up for a credit card, you'll get a free t-shirt. So obviously, what's a freshman gonna do, right? 18 years old, I wanted a free t-shirt. So I signed up for the credit card, and that was the biggest mistake of my life for the next 15 years because I had absolutely no idea what I was getting myself into. I was not educated or responsible to be able to handle credit cards. So I spent with the credit card, not knowing that you actually needed to pay off the minimum payments and the bills that came in the mail. So over the next couple of years, I just really got into a deep hole. My junior year in college, I was diagnosed as having clinical depression, and I was president of my sorority at the same time, ironically, so I had to kind of put on a happy face that everything was fine, and it wasn't. By my senior year in college, I had to do a debt consolidation program because I just had no other way out. And I don't know if there's anyone else in the room who can empathize with this, but you don't learn your lesson the first time. So I graduated college and I continued to open more credit cards because I just didn't know what else to do. I tried to work my way up the corporate ladder. I was an executive in marketing and advertising. And in 2008, if you guys remember, the economy tanked and a lot of my colleagues got laid off, and I was so scared I was going to lose my job that I went out and interviewed for another company, got the job, came back to my company and said, I'm really scared of losing my job, should I take it? And they said, no, Mary Beth, you're not going to lose your job. In fact, we're probably going to make you a principal. And 6 months later, they still let me go. So I continued to spiral into my credit card debt because I couldn't pay my bills. I was embarrassed and ashamed, and I put on a facade. I continued to pretend that I was okay, and I was dating a man who was so supportive and so sweet and so generous, and he bailed me out time after time after time when I couldn't pay a bill. I read one time that the average debt in America for a household is $15,000 for credit cards, and I'm an overachiever, so I had $45,000 in credit card debt at this point. The interest outpaced me and I just could not catch up, so again, I tried to climb my way up the corporate ladder. The ironic part was that I was managing clients who had $1 million budget for their advertising campaigns, and I was sitting at my desk eating canned chicken and Progresso soup, which is a very delicious soup and very economical, but that's all I could afford. And the lowest moment I had, I'll never forget, I was going through the gas station and I had to log into all my credit cards from my phone to see which one had about $30 available that I could charge the gas. And then Nerium showed up. My friend gave me a bottle of night cream, and I'm a cheapskate, so I took it because it's free, never intending to purchase it because I couldn't afford it. And I wanted nothing to do with the business. Thank God my boyfriend said to me, Mary Beth, you're going to tell your friends. No one's heard of this. You have to do this. And I said, okay, sweetie, you're right, I'm going to tell all my friends. So he paid for the $500 because I didn't have it. I didn't even have it on a credit card. Unfortunately, I didn't do anything the first year because I was petrified of being a salesperson. I was so nervous that my friends were going to think I was just trying to, schlep product and try and convince them to buy something from me, and then I had ulterior motives. And so my first year just flew by, I did nothing. And then in 2014, I heard that there was a chorus teacher in my town who earned a Lexus. And that was my aha moment. I said, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. She doesn't have any sales experience. So I drew my line in the sand, and that was my commitment date. I finally got plugged in. I was 10 core. My why was to earn $200 a month so I could pay for gas and not put it on my credit card. And I also decided to quit watching reality TV. That was my downfall. I used to, binge watch reality TV at night just to escape my own reality. And then I decided to go to St. Louis. That was 3 years ago. And I came with one brand partner. I had built a tiny little team. I was a director. I was really proud. I was sitting all the way in the back right. And my boyfriend had let me use his airline tickets in order to come here. When I got on that plane, I was not the same person. I was overjoyed and full of belief, and I had a protective bubble around me that nothing could stop me. And it was because of the love that happens here on stage and the testimonies and just knowing that I could do it too. And in fact, my belief in the company and myself when I got home, it went from being afraid of what people thought of me and perceived me to feeling bad for those who didn't get it and who wouldn't look at the opportunity. The two mantras I said every day was, successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do, and 20 seconds of insane courage. And 26 days later after I left St. Louis Convention, I earned my Lexus. And that is when my boyfriend decided to join the business too, because he was like, oh wow, there really is a business opportunity here. What I did was I never made it about me, I made it about other people, and I asked myself, who can I bless? A lot of times, I think we can get so caught up in, what's in it for me and how can I achieve my goals, and I never made it about me. It was who can I help and who can I bless? So over the next 2 years, I worked my Nerium business about 5 hours a week in the beginning, and every single paycheck I had, I used it to pay off my debt. So 2 years ago this summer, I quit my job and was debt-free from credit card debt. My awesome boyfriend proposed to me. We got engaged, and in the month that we got married was a big promotion in Nerium. So we decided not to take a honeymoon that month and help our team instead. And by helping other people, it allowed us to rank up to regional marketing director. And then last convention in Dallas, my husband and I walked across the stage as national marketing directors. I never would have made 6 figures in my entire career because that's just not my profession's salary. And when we hit NMD, I called our mentor, Darren Kidd, and I said, Darren, we did it. We hit national marketing director, just sobbing. And he said, congratulations, I'm so proud of you guys. I know you could do it. You have 10 minutes to celebrate, now get back to work. And I was like, oh. And it was the best advice he could have given us because you can't stop doing what you did to get to where you are. And so we celebrated for 10 minutes, and then I got right back on 3-way phone calls and was in someone's house that night for an RRP. So today, 4 years later, I don't recognize my life. I am pregnant, expecting our first daughter here in September, and I never thought that I could actually raise a family from home. I always figured I would have to take maternity leave and then go back to work, so it's such an amazing blessing to be able to have that time with her and still have an income and help other people. Today I wore this dress with a cape because I know someday our daughter's gonna see this video, and I want her to know that you can achieve and do anything that you want as long as you believe in yourself. A few things that I've been able to achieve because of Nerium was I was able to fly across the world and go visit my brother in Australia, who's lived there for 15 years, and I could never afford to go or take the time off of work. Another thing I was able to do because of Nerium was go to see Oprah Winfrey, who I'm totally obsessed with, and I got like 6 aisles away from her. It was one of the most amazing moments of my life. And lastly, my husband now, who has been with me through this whole time and was kind of, I hate to call it my sugar daddy, but he really helped me so much in all the times that I was broke. And now we go out to dinner sometimes and I'm like, I got this. Thank you so much.